in the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verses 1 to 20. We have an interesting passage here about what goes in a mouth and what comes out of the mouth. The Pharisees and scribes said to Yeshua, "Why do your disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they do not wash their hands when they eat bread." Well, everything that goes into the mouth passes into the stomach and is cast out into the latrine. And Yeshua said to eat with unwashed hands does not defile the man. So many have come to the conclusion that you can eat anything without defiling your body. But the Pharisees didn't see that they were transgressing the Mosaic Law by eating unclean, since bread was being eaten and it was not unclean. What they were upset about was that the disciples were transgressing their law of not washing their hands in the ceremonial ways that followed the oral law. So this had nothing to do with the Mosaic Law and didn't give anybody license to eat whatever they wanted. The food law still applied. So the understanding that Christ wanted his disciples to have is that what proceeds out of the mouth that defiles a man. This is why he quoted Isaiah. This people honors me with their lips, but their heart is far away from me. But in vain do they worship me, teaching as their doctrines the precepts of man. So their doctrines were to obey man as opposed to Christ. When Yeshua said, "What defiles a man is what comes out of his mouth," this greatly offended the Pharisees. They realized that Yeshua was pointing to them, being defiled because out of their mouth came teaching that they had made up, and they were rejecting the truth that had come out of the mouth of Yeshua. And if you reject his teachings, you reject him. This is just common sense. In verse 14, and so we have the blind leading the blind. As Christianity and Judaism continues to reject the truth, that is, the Mosaic Law that came out of the mouth of Christ, and continue to bamboozle the blind with the doctrines of men. That is what religion does. It puts their teachings over what Christ has taught. So a lot of people have been fooled that they can eat anything they want, when in fact this passage is not about that. It is about substituting the teachings of men over the teachings of Christ.